Start streaming. What will I get hit with? Will you be the last one? Go to view page. And Bob Euchre voice. I must be sitting in the front row. How you doing, Nathaniel? Well, I just made the thing last second, so you're probably only going to have 3 people in the whole thing. I'll wait a few seconds only because this is like a last minute thing, but to be honest with you, I don't expect much on a last minute thing. I was really curious about this. I know nothing about it, so I just figured I would open it live since that's what I was going to do. And I've been so busy this week, I didn't do any live painting or anything. But I can tell you that I'm going to try to paint every night next week. But we'll cut down the number of videos. We've been working on a lot of stuff. I'm trying to get this thing right. Hold on. Bear with me, folks. And I'll say hi to everybody like I normally do. I've been working on fixing the Patreon and a few things with the channel. The girls are doing a great job just keeping things together while I try to figure everything and how we want to adjust everything. But we're going to get there. So it's just taking a little while. And I got this in the mail. This is by Andy Chambers. I didn't even realize this. And if anybody knows who Andy Chambers is the guy that developed some of the more popular games at, yes, Games Workshop. This is from Warlord Games, so I'm really curious about this and how this all goes. So we're going to open this up, and if you like it, hey, go check it out, and you can there's plenty of them at Miniature Market. I have more expansions than this. I just figured I'd take these just so we have a sampling to see what's going on. So I'm going to say hi to Nathaniel, Don, Orchid, Monkey Wrench, what's up, my brother? Iron Hand, 1970 Walker. He says hi, hope everybody is well. Nathaniel ordered this last week. Now, did he get it in? Maybe he should have done this video instead of me. So, let's I think we got pretty much everybody. James Brazil, unfortunately can't stick around, but just wanted to stick my head in and say hi. James, how are you? So we're going to take a look at this. I know nothing about it. So I'm opening it and I'm discovering, I know about it as much about it as you guys, or you guys probably know more than I do. Charlie P, how you doing? Now, I got a bunch of these dice sets, so obviously these dice it's a dice game. Yay. This set is, which one is this for? I don't know. Oh, it's for the British, RAF. The Royal Air Force. I should have noticed that. Helen, how are you? Excited to be live with y'all again. Yeah, we're glad to be live. No, it's on customer hold. Helen, Robert, and chat, how are you? Incredible B, Running Wolf, good to see you. Yeah, so this is the British version of the dice, but I have every faction, so that's kind of interesting here. We're not going to open these up until we discover what's inside here. So let's do that, huh? And we're going to try to talk about it. What wine, Helen? Oh, boy, Helen, you're getting a reputation already. Every time you're on, it's some kind of wine. As long as you're not whining, that's what's important. All right. So, Tim, how are you? So I'm kind of curious about this because if you really think about as far as games in the air or Air Force games, the first one that comes to mind is Wings of War. So I wonder how this is going to compare. This is a Warlord game made by those guys from, yes, Bolt Action. So let's take a look here. Doesn't look like there's a lot in here. Well, that's it, guys. Have a good night. Take it easy. Oh, boy. Let's see. Expanded rules, rule book. Scenarios. Okay, they give you the stickers. That's cool. And you get a bunch of dice. All right. All right. Oh, cool. All right. So, since this is the Battle of Britain, now these things aren't painted, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you guys can get a better look and see what's going on here. Not painted, so we're going to have to take some time and get these all jacked up. So, well, there you go. From Aces to Ace to Dawn Patrol to Wings of War. LOL had a girlfriend over for dinner. She enjoyed... Okay, I'm not even going to try to say that. I am on antibiotics, so I had a cranberry spritz. Oh, great. Yeah, so not bad quality, not very detailed as far as planes are concerned. But I do like the fact that you do have the stickers here. So once we get these painted up a bit, we'll do the whole underneath carriage. And then, you know, we'll try to give them the treatment as much as we can. So I'm cool with that. The German planes here, which we're going to take a look at. Again, not overly detailed, but enough that you can get what you're trying to get out of it. And I think that's all we can ask. How's the flash on the models? The game guy says. Doesn't seem to be any flash, which is surprising. So these look pretty good. All right, we've got some cards here. Spitfire 2, single engine fighter. So they have a bunch of things. Trait is tight turn. All right, a bomber, but we don't have any bombers in here. All right, so we have these skill cards. All right, we're going to pull out this. And there we go. We're going to move this to the side. And we'll be taking a look at those planes a little bit more detail. Well, let's see what we have in the bottom here. Let's take this out of the way for the time being. Put that over there. Put that over there. Try to get it in the camera angle. Hold on. I'll actually back this out a little bit as we try to figure this out. I think some people may not like that they are not pre-painted. Yeah, maybe. But I don't think that's a horrible thing. You know, I kind of like to paint my own stuff at times. I do. Oh, I do like this. Well, this is interesting. Okay, let's take a look before we get too ahead of ourselves. So that, whoa. Okay, so that's where your flashing is going to be. Is in this, oh, there we go. No, it goes right in. So you have this. That's a pretty cool thing if you look at it. Seems like Star Wars X-Wing. Well, I mean, you're going to have to go in the air, but I don't think Star Wars X-Wing does this where you can actually dive. And let's just show you what's going on. The models look better than the reprint of Borg's Battle of Britain. The stems bend to reflect advantage and disadvantage from changing altitude. Okay, so there you go. And if you're climbing, but I think that's a kind of a really neat thing because you remember a lot of different things. This is neutral, this is disadvantage, and this is an advantage. It shows it right on the game thing. The funny thing about this is, you know, if you think of a lot of flight games, as far as climbing, you would just have a thing that would, you would roll up here, you know, at least most flight games I played. All right, so that's interesting. So I'm kind of interested how this goes. All right, but we'll take a look at that. Here's the quick reference sheets. We're going to take a look at that. All right, you're going to be playing on a blue mat, or I'm sure they have. You could probably use some of the other mats that they have. These, we're going to take a look at these. These obviously are going to go over our planes. So we would do something like that, I would assume. All right. Maybe we do have a little bit of... And then we would have that. So there we go. All right, let's try to figure this out, because now I'm curious. So we get some... Oh, there we go. We've got some clouds here, so we might as well just punch these out. And let's punch all these bad boys out. Okay, on the other side, there's another. All right, so let's do that. I wonder if the planes are the same size as Wings of War. No, Wings of War is 144th. These are 200th. Love quick sheets. Me too. Got my copy yesterday and primed the ME 109s and started painting them in the morning. Very cool. All right, so we're going to get that out of the way. Let's get this garbage out of the way. Oh, tomorrow we're going to have Victoria and Jerry with the Jarl. So we're going to play a 4-player game instead of playing Twilight Struggle. I'm going to save that for when it's just me and the Jarl. Because he needs a real good beating at some point. So we're going to figure out what to play. I haven't really thought about what to play. We were thinking of doing Museum Rush. I want to do something that is that Victoria is not going to black out in. Maybe we'll do a cooperative game, but I was thinking something more that we can all go against each other. I was actually even thinking of doing Fallout 4 or whatever the heck it is. Oh, here we go. That's why the card is for the bomber. Alright, okay, this is neat. That's that. So let's pop these out. So I'm trying to think what Jarl cheesed out on Twilight Struggle. No, it was nothing like that. It's his sister wanted to play and her boyfriend, so we're trying to figure out whether we're going to do something cooperative. But I think, because of how competitive it is with him, I'm going to try to find something competitive. And Jerry's a pretty good player and might give the Jarl a little run for his money. So it might be fun to see. Last week beatdown wasn't enough. No, it's never enough. He wants to redeem himself. So we got all these interesting little things here, which we're going to have to figure out. We have little wings here. I don't know what that means, but we'll figure it out. They are stickers. Wish they were decals. I can deal with stickers. Stickers don't bother me. Decals, you can get decals. Wings of Glory is the new name. Wings of Glory is the new name, not Wings of War. Just for those that don't know. But this game looks interesting. I like painting as well. What was the MSRP on the basic game? I will tell you in a moment. I think it was like $49, if I'm not sure. I can't tell you offhand. Rob, will you be painting Lobotomy figures? Yes. They looked interested in that, and I showed it. And we're going to get that going. We're also going to be doing some Shattered Dream. There's a lot of things that I'm going to try to get done in the coming week. I need to finish up. I have a few figures left for Scythe. So I'm going to run through, and I'm painting 2 sets of Scythe. One is for Dan King, which is just about finished. I just have to touch up a few things. I need to get that back to him. So I want to get that done next week, so we'll do that. Let me just put these aside here. Also, I'm going to look forward to the next challenge. I can't wait for tomorrow's live play. Hopefully, I will be able to watch when it is live. The Little Wing tokens mark activated planes. That's it. That's interesting. I am still looking excited for your review of the newly rebooted Star Trek Attack Wing starter, and would love to see you play a live game. That's going to be way off in the future, to be honest with you. My thing is that we have a bunch of stuff that we need to address first, as far as games being backed up. So we'll get to it when we can get to it. That's all I can promise you. All right, so here's the bombers. That's why we have bomber cards in there. So We're going to throw those in there. The activation, we'll leave a couple of these out right now. We'll put our clouds there. We're going to leave these cards out. We're going to leave this out. We'll throw some of these out so we just get an idea what's going on. And we're going to open up this manual and try to figure this out a little bit. So maybe you have a little taste of it. Maybe it'll help. I'll leave a couple of these out. 2s and 4s. I saw a 4 somewhere. All right, perfect. So let's put the rest of these in there. We have dice. Whoops. That was awesome. So what do? I open up a sealed bag of dice. The wrong one. All right. So we're going to put dice here. We're going to put this here. These cards. Obviously, we have a Spitfire, so we're going to take that out. Let me look at this. That looks like a Berkey mat you were using there, Rob. That is correct. Robert, my real name is Chris. Keep it a secret. Okay. Liz, how are you? Hi, Robert. Hope you are having a good day. Yes, I am. I hope you are. Did you watch the beta stream earlier? I believe they have something big going tonight. So, okay, this is kind of interesting because I just figured this out. One side is the British, the other side is the German. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good way to save on some cost. Rob, the Mark told me that he will go all out to be you tomorrow, even if it means cheating. Oh, the Jarl. Oh. The Jarl ain't beating me. Him and his beta attitude. I'll get you. Actually, usually he beats me at games. But when he beats me at games, I usually come back with something demoralizing like, I've won at life. And he gets angry. Him and I have sparred. In a good way. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Expand the rules. Okay, basic rule. Read this first, it says. Well, we better read this first, huh? So, you win the game through morale, which is measured with boom chips. And that's what, of course, I got to cover. Oh, these are boom chips. I thought these were wound markers. Boom chips represent light breaking down as pilots get rattled by enemy attacks, along with the rapid expenditure of fuel and ammunition during a dogfight. Okay, you got me a little interested here, because now we're talking fuel expendency. What's the matter, Meme? Okay. Let me see. I did. So degenerate. He told me he will cheat tomorrow. I'll get you and your little dog too. Yes, you will. I like that you flip over the planes to save money. That's awesome for sharing this. Oh, wait. The dogs are not all that little. No, they're not. Are the planes 10 millimeter scale? I believe they're 1/200th, so I wouldn't know if they are 10 mil. Hold on, I'm trying to open up these stupid skill cards. So this really kind of runs off of pilot skills. Alright, well, let's find out what the heck's going on here. Next week also, next Friday, I will be at... Okay, these are ace skills. These are theater cards. I will be at Recon. Yes. Recon. So I'm just going to put these out like this. The Queen. Yes. The Queen. See, I got to make some more of those things. 1/200th. Rob, can you bring the planes closer? Would like to get an upfront look. Yes, I can do that. Just give me a moment here. I'm just trying to get things kind of situated here, because once again, we're just trying to break down and show you everything that's going on. We have aircraft traits. We have ace skills. All right, let's put these up here because they're going to come into play. We're going to move that over there. I just want to get things a little organized here so we can kind of pull things out as we need them. All right, there's that. There's the wings. There's that. There's that. Let's pull these cards up. And we will take a look at that. It comes with a measuring rule, which I kind of like this because, again, this really gives you a true measurement of things. So no matter where you're measuring from, very nice. I like it. And I don't know what this is, but we will find out what it does very shortly. All right, so let's go back here. Yeah, you need a Pepe. Yeah, that's right, I need a Pepe. Amazon needs to be punished for its spell checker. There we go. Robert, did you ever play in the past the Crimson Sky? Yes, I played the Clicks game. I still have it, I believe. Remember your insane keyboard, Helen. Let's see. Spell checker. Okay, there we go. All right. So, oh yeah, we want to see the planes. So let's bring the planes up a little closer. Hopefully they will not do what I think they're going to do. And that is flame out here. Hold on. I'm going to use my hands so they don't blur out. And you can see that. I mean, they're decent. They do what they did. Jumped in the vid. The game looks fun. Red Versus, how are you? I think 1/200 is 8 mil. Thank you for the conversion. I couldn't do it myself. If a player reaches a total number of boom chips greater than their current number of aircraft, 6 for 5 planes, their squadron will disengage from the fight at the end of the current game turn. The survivors driven off by the fierce opposition and accumulated damage. Give the opposing player 1 boom chip for each time you score a hit with a shooting attack against one of their aeroplanes, whether it ends up being a dodged or not. Huh? And another boom chip for every one of their aeroplanes shot down. Okay? If both squadrons are driven off in the same turn, the game is a draw, with the honors going to the player that shot down the most enemy airplanes. If all opposing squadrons disengage, the player left in control of the battlefield is declared the winner. Okay. That's how you win the game. Well, here's all the contents that you get. We've already gone over that a bit. Action cards. There's Doctrine, Aircraft Traits, and Theater cards. Bloody Red Skies includes 3 types of action cards: Aircraft Traits, Doctrine, and Theater. These cards will create the action deck used only in games using expanded rules. We recommend you skip this when playing the basic rules contained in this booklet. Okay, because you can add pilots, and that's what I think a guy like that will have an effect in the game. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Truth there, I am actually on a real keyboard. I hate Android autocorrect. It is my arch enemy. Well, there you go, Miss Helen. Okay, so here we go. On the other side, there's a bunch of bombs. The sky can present pilots with challenges and opportunities in the shape of clouds and clusters and anti-aircraft defenses. These are represented by sections of the scene markers or scenery included in the game. So there's 2 sides to this. See? A lot of things that we're learning here. All right, let's move that aside. Game markers, boom tokens, zoom tokens, high cover markers. Okay, so these are high cover markers. These are zoom tokens. And these are, of course, the boom tokens. Pilot skill discs. When selecting your squadron, insert the corresponding skill level marker on the plane's flying base. All statistics and gaming information for each aeroplane are included in the corresponding aircraft cards In BRS, Battle of Britain box set, you can find aircraft cards for the B-109E and the Spitfire II single-engine fighters. Okay. The advantage system. This is what we were talking about before. So climbing is an advantage. Advantage states are shown for the aircraft model with a swivel stand by tilting the aircraft forward to denote disadvantage and back to show advantage. Okay. Broadly speaking, advantage represents differences in height, high, medium, low, but can also represent a fighter's energy state. That means their ability to make rapid maneuvers and control the fight. Every ace pilot knows that advantage is vital in air combat. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Is this tomorrow's game now, or is it still Twilight Struggle? We're not sure what we're playing because we have 4 players tomorrow. Everybody wants to play tomorrow. Every ace pilot knows that. Okay, I read that. Oh, to show this, Red Skies fighters can maneuver to place enemy aircrafts in a disadvantage or climb to gain advantage. Advantage determines the turn sequence. Advantage planes go first. Advantage can also be burned to gain increased movement and turning options when an aircraft moves, as we'll see later. Most importantly, only disadvantaged planes are vulnerable to being shot down. Ooh. All right, so this is a little different. All right, characteristics. Rookie is a 2. So pilot skills, this is what it's going to talk in. It's from 2 to 5. 2 being the lowest and 5 being the highest as follows. A basic trained pilot with little or no experience of aircraft is a rookie. This is average. This is a guy that's okay, a veteran, and an ace. Aircraft cards. Airplanes in Bloody Red Skies are divided into one of 4 categories: single-engine fighters, multi-engine fighters, jet fighters, and multi-engine bombers. The type of aeroplane is listed on the aircraft's card. Okay, so we have the aircraft card here. So let's just take the Spitfire for instance. Soup. Okay, talks a little bit about it back here. All right, what year it was used. All right, let's learn a little bit about this. Okay, at Rob Oren, I want to play tomorrow. Does that count? Ooh, that would be 5. Me too. That makes 6. 4 players. You know it. There you go. Look at you guys. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, so this symbol here is firepower. The firepower characteristic is a representation of the plane's armament in terms of accuracy, range, ammunition, and reliability. Firepower for each aircraft is rated from 1 to 3, 1 being the lowest and 3 being the highest. 1, good. Multiple rifle caliber machine guns or 20mm cannons and heavy machine guns in limited numbers or with restricted ammunition supplies. 2, excellent. Either combined cannon and rifle caliber machine guns with plentiful. Okay, and then 3 is superior. Okay, our next number is agility. The agility characteristic represents how nimble a plane can be in the air, its acceleration, turning radius, climb, dive, and roll rate, plus stall characteristics are reproduced. I'm trying to read this upside down. In one handy number. Agility for each aircraft is rated 1 to 3, 1 being the lowest, 3 being the best. Then it breaks it down. Speed. First, let's check the thing. Jet fighters. ME-262 sounds like maybe for the game. Okay, gotcha. Okay, Speed characteristic represent an aircraft's top speed. It is expressed as a maximum distance in inches that the model can move across the tabletop in one game turn. So 8 would equal, yes, 8 inches. All right. Real MPH. Speed is important because it not only determines how far models can move across the tabletop, it also dictates what order models move in. Faster planes normally move before slower ones. So and there's a little number way down here that says 357 miles per hour. So what have we learned here? Okay, number one, they have good firepower. They have superior maneuverability. And as far as speed, it can move 7 inches. One of the traits it has is tight turns. So it can make tight turns. Okay, point cost is A. Oh, okay, that's the other side of the car. So the other side of the card here also it gives you and talks a little bit about the history of it and the point cost for each plane. That is going to be 31 points. Who it belongs to? Yes, the British. All right, now we got that down. So we're starting to understand this a little bit. Year of service. That's going to help you because you're going to be able to match up the planes to the current year. So here again, we have the Battle of Britain. So of course, our BF 109, who also is 31 points, is a plane from 1940s. Let's compare them up. So these guys are dead even together. This is a little faster, so it'll get to go first. But the traits are different. Great dive and great climb. So those are things that are going to play big here. So let's keep going here. We recommend that you start first by reading this booklet and then trying out a scenario 0. So we'll take a look at that in a second because there's not a lot of pages here. Okay, I think there's only a couple more. Boom, yeah. Okay, planes are being activated each turn in order of their level of advantage. The turn is therefore split into 3 phases. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. We got a couple. Join us out my community at Discord, which I should be able to get on there next week, early next week. So for those of you following along at home, I managed to develop pink eye. This is seriously ridiculous. Oh, Helen. I like the fact that the traits are a factor. I do as well. So, advantage action phase. Advantage planes are activated in order from highest pilot skill to the lowest pilot skill. Neutral, then disadvantage action phase. Activating a fighter. Oh, if 2 or more planes have the same pilot skill, okay, value, the order of activation is determined by the speed value from the highest to the lowest. If the tie persists, remember to use the real MPH tiebreakers value to work out the activation sequence. So this is your pilot, so that's going to determine on what you do here. Okay, so here we go. In the action phase, active fighters, one at a time. Activate fighters one at a time. The most skilled plane goes first. Within each advantage category, any ties in pilot skill are broken by speed value and ultimately by the real MPH, miles per hour. Complete all actions of one plane before moving on to the next. A plane takes the following actions in order when it activates. Shoot. You can shoot an enemy plane that is in your front arc within the range template. distance, and is of a lower advantage level. Advantage to neutral and neutral. Advantage to neutral and disadvantage. Neutral to disadvantage only. All right, let me that didn't sound right. Advantage to neutral. Neutral to disadvantage. Okay, there we go. Oh, advantage to neutral and disadvantage. So advantage can always shoot to neutral and disadvantage. And neutral to disadvantage only. There we go. Okay, that makes sense now. Burn advantage. When activating your plane, you may choose to burn one of your advantage levels, going down a level from advantage to neutral or neutral to disadvantage to perform one of these special actions, maneuvers, or dives. See page 14. Yeah, because I was wondering, wouldn't you just stay in advantage the entire time? Okay, let me see. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Larissa. That's the last one. Made a cheat sheet. Okay, so let's try to figure this out a little bit. You may shoot an enemy plane that is in front arc within 6 inches. Okay, so this must be 6 inches, 10 to 1. So, no, that's a little bit farther. Okay, so, all right, so 6 inches. You may attempt to reduce an enemy's plane's advantage level by 1 from advantage to disadvantage to neutral or neutral to disadvantage by outmaneuvering. Climbing for advantage. Raise your advantage level by 1 from neutral to advantage or disadvantage to neutral. End activation. Place one of these to say that it is done. Okay. So they're going to give us a little example here. So let's talk about this. Fighter carries a heavy forward-facing armament of machine guns and automatic cannons to shoot down enemy aircraft. The high engagement speed of the fighters make it essential to do enough damage to shoot down an enemy plane in just a few seconds of accurate fire. The shooting range for all planes covered in these rules is 6 inches, and you use the range template to resolve the shooting action. To be able to declare a shooting action, the target must be in the forward 90. So as you can tell here, that we do have a forward 90, and that is expressed by the lines there. Pretty typical. To check the range and facing, place the range template so the curve inset, okay, just like we did. So essentially, you would do this. So here we go. And you would put that in there. Let's move that outside there. And oh, look at that. We're within 6 inches somehow. All right, so it's within the 90-degree arc, which is fine. And decide by measuring from the center mark to straight ahead. Okay. To resolve a shooting action attack, the shooter adds the pilot skill value to the plane's firepower value and rolls that many dice. If at least one success, which is this, is rolled, a hit is scored, and the boom token is given to the opponent. Pilot skill value. Pilot skill value is 3. Plus the value of 4. Rolls that many dice. Okay, so because this guy's a 3 and the firepower is 1 here, we're going to roll 4 dice. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see what happens. So we roll and we completely miss. You can see where that would be a little tough to hit. Once a hit is scored, the target can try to dodge. the attack by rolling a number of dice equal to the sum of its pilot skill value and the plane's maneuverability. If at least one spade is rolled, the hit is dodged. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's see if we can hit again. Or am I just that bad at rolling dice? Yeah, I'm that bad at rolling dice. So it's really kind of hard to hit because you can only hit on one side. So it's almost, you have to roll a 6. Look at this. These dice are jacked. So what are these for? That's what I'd like to know. Are they just numbers? Do they have any meaning? Okay, so I would hit twice. If at least one success. What if you get multiple? Okay, critical hits. During a shooting action, more than one... Oh, there it is. More than one is scored. The shooter inflicts a critical hit. Critical hits are harder to dodge. And to represent this, the target's value is reduced by 1 when trying to dodge. So essentially, so this is the way this works. So this is what I rolled. Okay, I had the advantage over the neutral, so I was able to shoot at him. Now, because he was in range and so forth and so on, I rolled the dice and I got 2 hits. So one is definitely a hit. The other is a critical, which is going to reduce his thing here. So it's 3. Hold on, let me make sure that we're doing dodge right. So his pilot skill, let's say he was a 2. He would get 2 dice plus 3 to roll to dodge. Wow, that's pretty nasty. Let me make sure this is right. Once the hit is scored, the target can try to dodge the attack by rolling. Now, he automatically gets one of these regardless or not if he dodges. The attack by rolling a number of dice equal to the sum of its pilot skill, which is 2, value, and the plane's. Okay, so he would get to roll 5. So, because we had an extra one of those, we would take 1 dice away. He would roll 5 to try to dodge. So, does he dodge it? No, he does not. Okay, so unless the hit is dodged, the target loses an advantage level, so he would go to disadvantage. If the plane was already disadvantaged, it is shot down. Things have come clear now. Things have come clear. This is an interesting little system here. Position shooting. Shooting attacks are often influenced by the relative position of the shooter and its target, and this is represented by the following special shooting situations. Okay, head-to-head-on attacks. Head-on attacks could be highly effective during World War II, but they were always risky. A shooting attack that comes at the front arc of the target's plane is called a head-on attack. In this case, the target is allowed to counterattack. So because they were flying at each other, he would get a return fire. So that would be, of course, his piloting skill, which we said was 2, plus 1 for his firepower. So he would roll. Boom. He did nothing. The target's attacks are assumed to be in the front arc, so there is no need to position the range template at all. Okay. Deflection shots. Shooting a target from the side is considerably more difficult. To reflect this, the target can use its plane's maximum speed instead of its maneuverability skill to add to their pilot skill. So instead, you would use your speed. You can add 7 dice plus 1 from shooting to the side. This only applies attacks that do not originate within a target plane's front or rear arc. So if he's attacking from the side here, you can use your speed value instead with your piloting skill. Wow. Oh, to dodge. So he would be able to dodge because shooting a plane down from the side is harder. If he's shooting from the side, he can roll 7, 8, 9 dice to dodge. Wow. That's why there's so many dice in this game. All right. Very interesting. Okay, let me go back here. And he gets a boom marker for the squad Air Force for getting hit. Yes, he would get. That's why I showed the little boom marker right here. My wife loves Wings of Glory and is asking if the rules would be too hard for her for this game. She likes the simplicity. I can paint, so that's part of the hobby. Damon, I think this is just reading this is very simple, and then it gives you can just add piece by piece to it. So it gives you a very simple look at this. I'm a little behind, but Boom Chips made my mind immediately change to it. This here's my Boom Chip. Yeah, this is my Boom Chip. Oh, I got it. Yeah, I answered it. I'm sorry. Helen, to make you read it, beat me to it. So, again, this is very, very interesting. So it does have things where you do have the burning advantage. Okay, here we go. Combat pilots climb higher altitudes to gain momentum or energy that they can then use to execute sharp maneuvers and increase their speed in order to best their opponents. When activating their planes, players can burn their advantage down one level, from advantage to neutral, from neutral to disadvantage. Perform one of the following actions. You can maneuver. Make a turn up to 180 degrees at any point during the aeroplane's movement. This represents the normal 45-degree turn as explained later. After this turn, the aeroplane can continue its movement up to its maximum movement. Okay, so you can use these advantages and take away from them. Then it has trailing. Okay, what do we have here? Pilot actions. Okay, this is where a plane can shoot a second time during activation as pilot actions choice. Resolve shooting action. Follow all the rules on page 13, 14, which we did. Outmaneuver. Okay, so there's a lot of little nuances, but pretty much this is 16 pages with 5, 6 of them. 6 of them. Okay, so 10. It's 10 pages. 10 pages to get the basic game going. Okay, and everything is spelled out here on this handy dandy sheet. Okay, it tells you how to shoot, how to burn advantage, how to move, that we talked about, pilot action. Okay. Plus the number of dice. Shooting test, dodging test, retention test. Okay, these are some things that come into play more. It also shows you turning, maneuver, movement, diving. You can dive. You can move your full movement and then go plus 6 inches and dive, but you're going to have to make an adjustment on your plane, of course. You're going to have to put yourself at a disadvantage to move that. Deflection. Okay, very cool. All right, so let's put this down here. Let's move this over here. And scenarios. Let's take a look at this real quick. Static display. Ace is high. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for the $4. I really appreciate that. And mighty peppy to you, my friend. Got it. Thanks. Oh, cool. I'm glad you got that, Damien. I hope I'm making this a little more simple and makes it a good decision for you to decide on this, because I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty interested in this. So we have a bunch of different scenarios. So let's just take a choosing forces, best known. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, so here's where these numbers come in. You can roll randomly and decide what type of skills your pilots have. Very interesting. Okay, if you have these certain things, they are going to cost you more. Historical doctrine cards. Okay, so they're going to... Okay. They have a ton of different theaters. See, we got to get the map. That's next. We'll take care of that next weekend at Recon. Fighter sweep. Okay, scenario 2, dogfight. You're going to want to do scenario 0 to begin with. That's what they said. Okay, intruder flight. So it's just you versus 2 planes. Very cool. All right. Okay, so you're going to roll to see what kind of advantage you're going to have. Okay. Once both players have deployed their elements, they roll a d6 for each plane to find out its starting advantage level. So all the planes don't start off at a certain thing. Each scenario, you're going to roll one of these dice. So that's what the numbers are. So because I rolled that, I would start at a neutral advantage on the play field. Where if we were fighting this guy here, he would roll. He also would start at a neutral thing, and then the other guy that's with him would also... Wow, I'm just rolling horribly. So basically, it's pretty much just like putting them on the table, for crying out loud, if I roll. I have not play tested this game yet tomorrow, but I think it will take less time to play than Wings of War or Glory, which is also a great game. I am anxiously awaiting notification that my new table for games is in at the store. New gaming tables are always awesome. Yes, they are. I am excited. Okay. All right. So we're going to keep going here. And there are a number, up to 3 scenarios. So they're going to give you a bunch of different scenarios. And as you can see, these are the different cards. Here's some expanded rules. Now, this is the part, read only when you are ready. So this is where it's going to start adding the action decks and how these are going to come into play. Building an action deck. So it's going to tell you what to do. An action trait card. So you're going to add these trait cards into your action deck. Then you're going to add theater and doctrine cards and how they'll play out. Number of aircraft. You would have 1 and then 2 theater cards. Alright, we'll get into the card thing first, but I wanted to show you guys the basic stuff. Ace skill cards. And these are going to add certain advantages to you. So your pilot skill, when you go to test for your pilot skill, you can use your pilot skill for certain things. But it also gives you signature traits. Like this one here is going to give +1 maneuverability to this ace pilot. Some may add firepower. And then, of course, all the awesome expansions that come with this bad boy. So let's take a look and just have a quick look at this and take a look at this Japanese ace pilot. And let's see what he does. All right. Hey, Neutral. What's up? I'm going to open this up somehow. Had to bite it. Yep. Alright, so I hope you guys are enjoying this and just getting another... Okay, so different color. So you don't have to paint them, but hey, I suggest have some fun with it. Why not, you know? Come on now. Alright, so this particular... Here he is. It actually gives who he is. It shows you all the advantages that he has. Or if you just want to use this as a basic plane, you can. As you can see, this is a 5 and a 4. And you can play as this particular hero. Now, let's take a look at what comes in here. Now, this 0 here, if you look, alright, it comes with its own special little deck here. And, of course, we have our stickers, which are going to go on the plane. And they give you some extra ones, which is cool in case you mess up. But we don't mess up because we do everything right. So, again, as you can see, firepower 2, maneuverability 3, and speed 7 has tight turns and vulnerability. So we wonder what that card is. So let's take a look. Here's the pilot card. He has a +1 to his maneuverability, and his skills cards are aggressive and comeback king. So what's aggressive? Okay, Ace learns to be aggressive and always takes the offensive with all guns blazing. Well, that sounds like me. Play. On an ace, on an ace during his activation. So when you activate him, if you roll an ace, you can do this. The ace can choose both outmaneuver and shoot as pilot actions this activation. Okay, we'll have to learn how that comes. In reaction to enemy shooting at a disadvantage, ace. If the ace critically dodges a shooting attack while disadvantage, he becomes neutral. Okay. So it kind of gives you a chance to come back. Tight turn, and then vulnerability. Vulnerability, a vulnerable plane being shot at, increases the firepower of the shooting attack by 1 before the dice are rolled. Design flaws include a lack of pilot armor, made some aircrafts virtual death traps. All right, okay. So this can get a little nasty here. There we go. There we go. So we have an advanced rule book. We have all kinds of different aces in here. Very cool. Those are these aircraft trait cards. Let's take a look at some of these. The Great Climb, we saw that. In reaction to an enemy plane within 12 inches, within 12, climbing for advantage. Okay, the enemy plane must pass a maneuver test to succeed. So if it tries to do an advantage, it can't. The plane's heavy engine, great dive. Oh wow! On a plane with this trait, burning advantage to dive. Add the plane's maximum movement instead of 6 when burning advantage to dive. So you would burn an advantage and you would try your dive. So instead of moving an extra 6, you would move your movement. It would be 7. You would be able to move 14. All right, I got this. Very simple. Nothing too hard here. The graphics have a sort of period feel to it. I agree with you there. We need to figure out a game day weekend somehow. I know. I'm pretty excited. What is Robert pretty excited about? Robert, I haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's well. I just ordered a table from Walmart to use as my gaming table. Very cool. Let me just see if I missed anything here. You do. You're just 3. Okay, you guys are 3 hours away. I know that for a fact because I got to see you both in St. Louis. So, I mean, there you have it. This is just more of these, but I have a bunch of other planes too. Let's open. I actually took the wrapper off this so I can just quickly take it off. And as you can see, we have a bunch more of these. So we really have just a nasty, nasty dogfight with this. And a bunch of boom markers, disadvantage, some more playing cards, and most importantly, the stickers that we need so we can add all that stuff together. Very cool. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, just from what I've read so far, I think this is a very simple, very cool system. I think it's very neat. I think it's very tight. It doesn't seem like it has too much, that can really go wrong with it. I'm going to get these painted up, and we're going to give this a nice test run. And I think this is a game that is made specifically for me and the Jarl. I mean, I can smell this a mile away. Of course, I'll let him pick whoever he wants to be, but it really doesn't matter because, let's face it, he just cannot beat me. Do you think miniatures will hold a good primer or just paint on primer? Which do you think is best? I am actually going to paint this on. I'm excited about you showing a game I've never even heard of, Rob. And yeah, things are good. Work just has me very busy the last few weeks. Well, that's good. As long as I remember there was a time that things were a little tough, so I'm glad everything's going well. Which table did you get? Okay. Sean Mikowski, Big Rob, my man. Just getting home from work and I saw you online. I ordered this game last week, waiting for it to come in. Yeah, I just got mine the other day. And very interesting. It's going to take some painting, yes. But you know what I think I'm going to do with these? To be honest with you, I think I'm going to break out the airbrush for this. And get a little cute with it. I think that's the best advantage. Because it's such a fine spray and there's not a lot of detail on this, I'm going to prime them that way. And we'll see how that all works. If you play this, I want to edit the footage to turn the game into a stop animation type movie. So the planes are... Oh, we're moving too fast here. Kabuki, how are you? It's always good to see Kabuki. Kabuki's a fan favorite for sure. So it looks like the planes are flying themselves. Okay. You can do that. Let's see. I saw that once with Wing and War, and it looked very cool. Yeah, so I really like this type of system, and I think it's very interesting. It's a departure. Again, it's an Andy Chambers. They've been doing a really great job. If you remember Test of Honor, which is really, really good. And we got that all ready to go. So there you go. Chat is moving too fast. Yeah, well, that's not a bad thing. Everybody's just happy to see each other. And what time? Oh, we've been doing this for an hour. So there we go. I think I explained everything pretty well. I think we went through everything pretty well. I think this is a really interesting game. I do like how you have to hit. There are really no modifiers. It's just roll and pray. And if you miss, then you're going to have to rethink everything, because hitting in those days was not easy. Because remember, you're just firing a machine gun straight. There was no targeting back then. That would be a hit. There you go. I mean, I like it. I really like it. All right. I think I've said it all. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I enjoyed spending time with you guys like I always do. Tomorrow we are going to be playing. We have Victoria, myself, Jerry, and yes, the Jarl is playing 2 weeks in a row. He's going to stream during the day, and then he is going to join us in the evening. I'm trying to decide what we're going to play. If you have any ideas, I was thinking keeping it simple and doing Museum Rush, which just came out. But I played before and I thought was very good. Or something a little bit more complicated. But again, I want to keep it kind of simple for Victoria. So not that she has a hard time learning. She just too many rules bore her. So she doesn't like long drawn out games. All right, I've said it all. There's not much more I can say. Guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something today. We need t-shirts that said, I think I've said it all. Seriously. I can say no more. Yes, exactly. All right, until tomorrow, hope you all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you soon.